making music is something that's been difficult for people to do for quite a few years. Nowadays, of course, you can just grab your iPod or your music player and you can just listen to music whenever you want. There doesn't have to be anyone actively playing the music. Whereas back before we had the Walkman and the records and whatnot, people had to actually be making music in order to hear it. And so we asked what music instruments that we play, so I grabbed all of the ones that I could just from my room, such as the horn. Can't really play much music out of this, but you can still listen to it. It's very loud, and I don't really know how to edit audio on this thing, so I'm not going to play it. And of course, anyone that's really been to grade 3 probably still has a recorder. In my case, I have 2, because one of them, this one, was run over by a bus. Yeah, so I got a second one, but the first one still works just fine. That, however, that you heard, is my largest instrument, a guitar. Of course it has the price tag on it, that's just how it is. And I can't play guitar well, but I can play a few little tunes. Whatever, really. Still smells wooden. Still smells the same as it did when it was new. But the guitar, as we know it, has only been around for about 200 years, from what I've heard. So it's a very new instrument when it comes to instruments. Hold on. Okay, something like this. Eastern European mandolin is what it is. You can see the line there. I got it fixed a couple months back. Okay, that one is loud. It's been around for quite a bit longer. I was going to do the research about all of these, but I got lazy and decided not to. And, of course, all these instruments, you need 2 hands to play. Even the simple harmonica, you really need 2 hands to play it, at least well. You actually really need a mouth. You don't really need any hands, but you need to hold it at least, and it takes up your mouth. For some reason I really like woodwinds. I have tons of them. But for an instrument that you can play with one hand, thumb piano. A little bit of dexterity, a little bit of placement, maybe a little bit of modification. It's only about the size of a Game Boy. But I don't have enough time to actually play any songs here for you guys. However, there are different instruments. Woodwinds, from what I've read, there's this book I read, The History of Everything. I opened up to the beginning to see where it started. It started in the Garden of Eden with Adam and Eve, 4000 BC, so about 6,000 years ago. The ocarina, meanwhile, was originally created, or at least originally found to be created, around 10,000 BC, 12,000 years ago, so which is twice the lifespan of the human, the ocarina. Potentially the first instrument not created from the human body and non-percussion, because percussion is easy to make out of anything. But this is woodwind. Originally they're made out of like fired clay. And it takes a little bit of practice to get used to playing it, but pretty much any woodwind that's not definitively a different instrument is an ocarina, is the simple way to put it. This is a double-chambered ocarina. You notice the 2 holes up there. And I've seen ocarinas go as much as 4 chambers, but this one is pricey as it is, and it takes quite a bit of practice to actually be able to play something like this anyway. So really, this isn't something that you just want to get just to throw on a shelf unless you're really loaded, or unless you actually want to put the dedication and time into playing something like this. So quite a nice note, really. There are cheaper versions of ocarinas as well. Of course, they aren't a sponsor. Like, for instance, this thing is technically an ocarina. So, yeah, I play a couple of different instruments. I don't play them well, I don't play them much, I rarely ever play them, but I can play them. I can also play a bit of piano as well, I just don't have one. And really, the instrument I want to learn is I want to learn how to play all instruments. One particular song of each instrument. Of course, I don't have enough time to show you what that is. So anyway, have fun.